Hello everybody, welcome back, and here we are again. Good morning to all of you, and without any further delay we'll be getting the things started from here on, and let's see how it's gonna be going on. As for right now, we are gonna be focusing on the same project, and that was this what is this called, Google Meet clone. And as for the title, I hope this is day 5. uh, Google Meet clone part 4 was yesterday, so yeah, this is definitely part 5 today. And again, uh, most probably it's gonna be done soon. As for today, we are gonna be focusing on, I'm gonna be working on this project for 5 hours continuously, and after that, let's see how much this project is gonna be done. Hope I will not get calls and all. So by 2 to 3 o'clock, it should be done. The whole this particular section should be done. But if I get the calls in between, then of course I'll have to go for that. Without any further delay, let's simply get started. And one more thing, I just tried to add some kind of what message at the bottom of the video. So let me check whether that's visible well or not. And apart from this particular thing, everything's fine. Like, don't really need to worry about it. Give me a second. Let me go to my YouTube and actually check how this looks like. And once everything's clear, I will get going from here. Meanwhile, let me go to projects, and that was Meet, Google Meet, and ultimately I have to open this one. So just a sec, things are gonna be quick, really quick, really, just a sec. I'm gonna be opening it here. Opening with code, VS Code. This is how it's gonna be going on. And this was the project. We had some of the comments yesterday that okay, we have to continue like this. We will be getting some references as well, and then this is how we will be going ahead. We will have to do a little more configuration because we are using pure web socket. We are not using socket.io, and because of that thing, this is gonna be a little bit, not too much, but a little more than expected. So just a sec. Just 30 seconds and that's it. After that, it's gonna be done. Just wanna check the quality of the video, how it's gonna be going on right now. So coming back to this is fine actually. No need to worry about anything. I hope I'm audible here. Am I? Yeah. Alrighty then, without any further delay, let's simply get started. And we were somewhere here. Let me open Chrome. And do let me know in comments if there's something wrong with the video so that I can just simply work on that and fix that. Just a sec. Alrighty, this thing is done. And as for this image, it needs to be on the top right. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter where I keep the image. It should be just above the video. That is the thing that matters the most, nothing else. Alrighty then, here we are. Let's go to the flow that we created exactly for this particular project. So we will be going with that only. So this is the WebRTC flow. We have all the things written here, and the most important part is this particular section. If I go to the documentation section, so it is simply saying that what are the tech stack that you have to go with. So we have to go with this tech stack. So we are already we have got the socket connection ready, even it got connected, and it's time to just simply go ahead with the next things. But before that, I just wanted to visit one of my previous projects where I got the things done related to WebRTC. I hope this was the one. Let me check. I think this is the one. And over here, is this the one? Let's go to WS. Where am I listening for the events? Just a minute. It actually starts from this main.js, and from here it starts. And when it starts from here, I mainly wanna check the type of the data. How am I actually defining the data, the right way to just simply structure that, because I will be sending the payload from here and there. But what is the best way to just simply do that? I had it here, I just forgot that. So just a sec. And when am I gonna be sending the data? When the WebSocket connection gets connected, create room. And when I'm actually creating the room, Ajax create room. So let's simply go to this. Okay, this is gonna be normal thing. Okay, Ajax destroy room. So ultimately room is gonna be created in the backend. That's also not a problem, we can do that. And then joining room, exit room, send messages button and all. This is not what I want. Looking for something else. WebSocket send offer. This is the one that I wanted to talk about. So first of all, we will have a label, and then inside the label, that's gonna be top level message. Then we will have label. Then inside the label, we will have data. Data will have its own type, exactly what kind of data that is. Okay. Then we will have the offer, and at the end of the day, we will have ultimately these are the payloads related stuff. So we don't really need to worry about it. Ultimately, this is the most important part. There should be top level label that will be saying whether this is the WebRTC process or this is the normal server process, and then that's gonna be type of that particular data. So with this particular structure, we will be going ahead. Again, I'm gonna be closing this project because we have to do everything manually rather than copying and pasting the stuff. So yesterday I was working on this one. So let me uncomment this again. When it comes to this particular message, so I just wanted to get the right way to structure that. So first of all, there's gonna be label. That label can be of many types. Then there's gonna be data. Data will have its own type, like joining meeting and all. It will have some other payloads. So over here, the main payload is going to be there, and that's it. This is how it's gonna be going ahead. So without any further delay, let's simply get going. So what is the next thing that we have to do? Okay, interesting question. So the next thing, the socket connection got connected. I mean, the socket connection is ready. It even worked correctly. And as soon as the connection gets ready, now I have to install UUID for generating the random ID, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be storing the connections here on the backend side. So let me just simply close this. I need to store the connections, so let me keep it at the top somewhere here. Again, why do I need to keep the connections stored? Because of course I have to send the messages or broadcast the message to all of them, and because of that thing I do need to just save it somehow. Okay, so this is how it's gonna be going ahead. As for this, there's gonna be nothing for now. This is gonna be just an empty array. We can definitely define the type of it, so let's even do that. So we have index.ts over here, right? And what are we working with? App turbo.json, right? So we are working with turbo repo. WebSocket server is this, web app is that, and there are few extra things that we have related to the auth here. So what can I do? Inside my WebSocket server, I'm gonna be creating a folder called types, and inside this I will have types. And as for right now, I'm gonna be having types related to WebSocket. So websocket.types.ts, I think this should be enough. All the types are gonna be inside this. Even that won't be problematic. Or let me do one thing. I'm gonna be defining the type right here. Later I will just simply organize them in the best place possible. For now, let's simply create the type here. Again, why am I not creating it there? I mean, we can organize it anytime, right? So that's not really a big problem. So later I will figure out the best way to just simply keep the types. For now, interface, and and that's gonna be which one? That's gonna be actually connections type. So interface connections, and inside connections I will have connection ID. So connection ID, and that connection ID will be type of what? That connection ID will be type of WebSocket, and that WebSocket will be coming from WS. But is this way do I want to go ahead? Not really. This connection ID does not need to be this exact connection ID. This name exactly, it's not gonna be there. Rather, this can be any random string, and this WebSocket is gonna be type of WebSocket. So can I do like this, that I will have a key will be type of string, and then the value is gonna be like this. Definitely this is also possible, and if I assign it, then I can assign the connections type here. So this is done. So ultimately the key is going to be a string, and then that of course that key is gonna be ultimately connection ID. So hopefully I can write connection ID here as well, connection ID. So it doesn't really matter, that key can be any name here, but ultimately whatever value you will have here, that's gonna be a connection ID, and that's gonna be type of string, and then that will have the value of the socket. Okay, so this is how it's gonna be going ahead. Apart from this particular thing, there is one more way, and what is that? Instead of creating it like this, just simply create the type, and of course the type is gonna be type of connections, but at the end of the day just simply say record, just like this, and the key is gonna be type of string, the value is gonna be type of WebSocket. So this is how it can be done too. So both of them are the same way to just do the same thing. Kind of there are different ways to do this, get the same result. By the way, as for the type of these connections, so I'm gonna be just having just normal ws.types.ts. Later I will make if I have to use more types, I'm gonna be using them. For now I have only one, so I'm gonna be just simply keeping it inside this particular thing. I can just simply export from here, and similarly I can export this too, but both of them are the same. So if I just export both of them, that's gonna be problematic. So we'll see, we'll try to use both of them at different places and see whether both of them work the same way or not. So we have created the types for this particular connections, but we don't have it imported here. So let's simply import it. So right now we have the connections. We even have to have the member meeting and all. So let me have the meetings related info here too. If I comment this here, so this is how it looks like. But again, we are not going to have everything here. Rather, we will define the proper type. So when it comes to proper type, so I will have to define the type for the meeting. So interface, and when it comes to the interface, of course that's gonna be meetings type, meeting style. And what will it contain? First of all, it will have a key. That's right. So ultimately I can say key is gonna be type of string. And what value will it have? This is the value that it will have. That simply means inside this it will have what? Inside this it will have host. The host will have username will be string. It will have connection ID will be string, and it will have is host, and is host is gonna be boolean. So this is the thing. Then just below this it will have participants, and these participants will be an array of the user type. So ultimately I will have to define one more thing, interface participants. Usually participant will contain what? Usually participant will contain the username. So ultimately participant should be containing this much information, just one participant. So I have the participant. Once I have the participant, so I can just simply say one thing, the host is gonna be type of the participant, just like this. And as for the participants, they are gonna be array of participants, just like this. So this is done. So this is the value that it will have, and ultimately this is overall okay. Apart from this thing, what can I do? Apart from this particular thing, I can actually create a the type of a meetings. If I cut it from here, let me create a meeting. So I have the participant interface meeting, and that's gonna be somewhat like this. Let's simply paste it here. So ultimately a meeting will have a a meeting will have a participant, and let me give the meeting here. So this is how it's gonna be going on quite well. I have participant, I have proper meeting, and I'm just simply saying that meetings will have a key. Again, call it key, call it meeting ID, depends on you. So it will have a meeting ID, that's gonna be type of string, and then something like this. So if I want, I can cut the whole thing from here. I can come back to this one. I have connection. Similarly, I have this meeting related stuff, and when it comes to this meeting related stuff, so everything is fine. I can export it. By the way, I can export all of them. Who knows when I'm gonna be needing them. So let's simply export all of them from here. Not only that, the first way is this, that you can go with this way. What is the another way? The another way is that you just simply say export type, and that's gonna be meetings, and you just simply say that record. You can just simply use record. Record will take two values, key and value. So key is gonna be a string, that's gonna be of course meeting ID, and value is gonna be meeting, just like this. So even this way you can do. Ultimately both of them are same. Either you write it this way or you write it this way. Either you keep key here or not, it's completely up to you. That's at the end of the day gonna be meeting ID. So I named it meeting ID. Hopefully I'm right. If I'm wrong, or when we just try it in action, we will know that okay, this is where we made a mistake and all. So this is how I'm gonna be going ahead. Having said that, I'm gonna be trying both of them. For now I will be commenting this because I need to export only one, and I'm gonna be back here. I have this meeting. I'm gonna be getting rid of everything from here. And as for the type of this meeting, I'm simply gonna say that you will have type of meetings. That's simple. So this is how I have my connections. I have my meetings. Connections will contain the connection ID that will be generated randomly, not randomly actually, using UUID, so that connections IDs don't get repeated. And the another thing is that we will have meetings that will contain the all the information of a particular meeting, and you can find the meeting using meeting ID. So this is how we are gonna be going ahead. Simple. So next thing is that installing UUID. Okay. So if I go here, UUID. So let's check this thing out. Slowly we'll go ahead and we'll get it done. We have the overall plan ready, exactly what we have to do. So it's not like we have to think something new. We have worked on these diagrams so much that we have to just simply follow everything. Like, okay, just write the logic for this thing, that thing, and the things are gonna be done. Okay, so we don't really have to get something out of the blue. So out of the blue, I hope this phrase is right. Keeping that aside, let's simply install this and npm install UUID, but I think I'm using bun over here. Yeah, I am using bun. So in that case, let me exit. Let me make it a bit smaller. This much should be enough. I hope you can still see that. Yeah, this much should be fine. ls, and what do I need to do? I'm inside Google Meet. I need to go to WebSocket server. So cd. Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, fine. I'm gonna be opening two of them, like two terminals here. One of them will be running the server continuously. So turbo and dev. This is responsible for running that. It runs both WebSocket server and web app. Let me keep it aside. And then this one will be responsible for installing the packages if needed. So cd app slash WebSocket server. Just WebSocket. What is the name? That should be apps slash WebSocket server ls, and I have to install bun. So bun add not bun UUID. This is how it's going to be installed. Bun is quite fast, so we don't really need to worry about it. And once I have it here, so am I not using this type here? Well, not here actually, so this is fine. And it's time to import UUID. Again, v4 from UUID. I'm gonna be saying UUID v4 so that I know about this. And let me add it to my workspace so that I don't get the error, because that's the spelling error that I'm getting. I have an extension, and that is just simply monitoring this. And what do I have to do? I have to just simply use UUID over here, and ultimately save it inside connections. So okay, without any further delay, let's even do that. So what will I do? If const connection ID, that's gonna be equals to UUID v4. So I got my UUID. Once I have that, then I will check if I have that or not. So if connections, I'm gonna be checking whether I have my connection ID or not. So if I don't have my connection ID, in that case I will be doing this. So if I don't have my connection ID, I will be creating a new connection ID. So connections connection ID. Okay, I found that, and here I will be just simply saving the WebSocket. What is the problem? The problem is that dispatch event is missing. Default but required in WebSocket type. Dispatch event is declared here. Dispatch event is declared here. Connections record WebSocket. This WebSocket is coming. Okay, first of all, let's simply import this WebSocket from WS so that we don't face that error. Okay, right now we are not gonna be facing that. So this much we've done, and it's pretty simple. So at the end of the day, what am I doing? Whenever the connection gets ready, I'm creating a connection ID. Once I have the connection ID, I'm gonna be just simply checking whether inside connections I have any object or any key having the same connection ID. If I have that, don't do anything because I can easily get the connections from there. If I don't have, I'm gonna be just simply saving this WebSocket there. Once this is done, what is the next thing that I have to do? Interesting stuff. Apart from this particular thing, even I will be checking for the errors, if there are any errors and all. So I'm just simply saying console error. I don't know how it's gonna be working and all, but let's see. I will be checking this thing out too. And then we are gonna be message. We are even sending this. So let's simply get rid of this. console data to string, and here we are gonna be getting the data, right? So when we are actually getting the data, at that time we have to parse the data. So ultimately I can say we have to have the parsed data, right? And ultimately what is that data? That data is just the message that we are sending. So const parsed, either we call it message or we call it data. Let's call it data. Parsed data. What is this parsed data? The data that I will be sending from the front end side. Again, that's gonna be JSON string. So I'll have to just simply parse it. So JSON.parse, I think this is the one that's gonna be used over here, and this way I should be getting it. What is the problem here? The problem is the raw data is not assignable to type parameter string. Argument of type raw data is not assignable to parameter type string, because this takes that only. Yeah, that's right. So what is can we do? Buffer array is not assignable to type string. That's right. So what can we do now? What can we do? How about converting it to a string? I don't know whether it's gonna be working or not, but let's simply log the value of the parsed data. We'll send it from the front end side. We'll see how it works and all. So this is how we are gonna be going ahead. And even better, instead of getting the thing done on the front end side, let's use Postman and check it there. But before that, let's simply get this message defined properly. So when it comes to this particular message, so I need to have a label, and when it comes to this label, so there are gonna be two labels in the sense two types of processes I will have. First one is gonna be related to the normal, yeah, let's keep it normal server process, and the second one is gonna be WebRTC server process. Anything related to WebRTC, that's gonna be having WebRTC server process, otherwise that's gonna be normal server process. Let me just simply remove it from here, just like this. Let's keep it just like this, just for the example purpose. And when it comes to data, so data type can be many types. It can actually have many types. In that case, it's okay. Type in the sense, this is more this is actually gonna be an event, so we will be just simply checking the type, and on the basis of that thing we will be getting the things done. And then here we will have some payload. So this is how it's gonna be going ahead. For now I will be commenting this, and later of course this is gonna be really useful. So this much we've done. What is the next thing? The next thing is that sending the data from the server side, client side, and then checking the data exactly what we are getting here. We can even use Postman for that. So let's try to do that from the Postman side. So we have overall everything ready here, so it should be working fine. Hopefully everything's going well on the YouTube side. Yeah. So coming back to this particular section, here we are. First of all, we have to run our server, and I think that's already running if I'm not wrong, but let me restart that. This is for the installing the packages and all, and this particular section is especially for running the turbo repo project. Again, turbo repo contains normal WebSocket and web app. As this is running, so if I go here, let me try to connect. So let me get rid of this. Of course I'm gonna be sending only data in the string format, so let me have it. By the way, type is gonna be what? It's not gonna be like this. First of all, I will have a label is gonna be first of all normal server process, because we are not working with WebRTC yet. So when I start working with WebRTC, I will add that. So normal server process. Okay, a payload. When it comes to this payload, let's call it data. I mean, better to call it payload, not really. So that payload will have a type in the sense, or let me call it data. That doesn't really matter what you call it. Okay, so once you do this, then it will have type, and type can be, suppose you are the user is actually asking to join the meeting, so the type is going to be ask to connect, something like this. So this is going to be the type, and apart from this particular thing, I will be just simply sending the data participant. This data is being sent, and it will have nothing but ID. So ID is gonna be 1. So this is how I'm gonna be going ahead. Hopefully this is right, but let's see. But before even that, I have to connect to that. And what is the where it is running? It is running on 8080 port. So let me 8080. This is done, and once this is done, let me simply connect. So once connected, it is just simply saying that connected to this particular server, and that's really good stuff. And as it connected, now what will I do? I will just simply send this data. Just a sec. Come on here. Yeah, here it is. I will just simply send this data back to the server. So let's simply click on send, and this actually got sent. I didn't receive because I'm not sending back from there. But if I go and check here, so ultimately I'm getting this data, and that's great. We are not getting any error as such. So we are getting label, data, type, asked to connect, and everything else. So this stringifying stuff really works. So if I just do it directly over here, then I'm getting definitely the error, and of course it's not gonna be working at all. But if I stringify the data, so the thing is that by default this data is in the buffer format. Okay, so if I just show you this particular thing, so by default if you have hover over this, so the type buffer array buffer like is not assignable to type string. First of all, this json.parse actually accepts string, and this data is in the buffer format. And if you want to convert buffer into string format, you can directly convert buffer into strings. So first of all, what I'm doing, I'm just simply saying that okay, get converted into a string format. Now it is actually in a string format. This particular json.parse actually takes a string, it just simply parses that, and once the data is passed, we are getting here like this. What is the next thing that we have to do? Okay, great stuff. Now as I have the label, so on the basis of the label I'm gonna be creating two processes here. So I will say if parse data dot label, if that's triple equals to normal. Again, writing this type over and over is not the best way to go ahead with the things. So what will I do? In that case, I'm gonna be defining the constants. Why? So that instead of writing this normal dot server process, and if I make some mistakes and all, that's gonna be the worst thing ever. I mean, of course I can go ahead like this, else if, and parse the data dot label triple equals to web rtc server process, just like this. And this is how I can just simply go ahead. In else case, I can just simply say clg invalid data invalid process label. So this is how I can just simply go ahead, and it can be done. CLG web RTC, and similarly I can have a console log here normal. So this is how it's gonna be going ahead, and it can be done this way. But there are high chances like I'm gonna be making mistakes writing this over and over, don't know how many times. Okay, so what will I do? The good thing would be creating a type, so ultimately constants. So what should I name them? Okay, even if I'm creating them, and when it comes to creating them, so let me do one thing. I have index.ts, I'm gonna be having constants.ts here, and when it comes to this particular constants, so export const, what should be the name of this file? It will have many things. Let me take again I'm gonna be having a look at my project, not because I want to have a look at the logic, but because I'm looking for a better name, and I hope I did it back then. So let me have a look at this. What could be the better name for this particular thing? We can definitely take the help of AI as well, but this is the WebRTC process. This is the constant.js file. What is the name of this? The type only. Okay, I mean just the type. Not really a bad deal, I mean bad thing at all. We will be creating the room, we will be destroying the room. Creating the room in the sense room is itself is going to be created on the database side. Destroying the room, joining the room, exiting the room, ultimately many things are gonna happen, and we merely have to have the type here. So okay, that's not really a big problem. And we will have two things, we will have the labels and we will have these things. Okay, great. So ultimately we are sure that what name should be here. So first of all, we will have the type. The type can be of many things, many types. So again, we are not dealing with the type right now, we are merely dealing with labels. So okay, this is fine, I mean better. And the second thing is that we will have labels. So by the way, let's keep it types because there are gonna be more than one types, there are gonna be more than one labels. And when it comes to these labels, so what are they going to be? First of all, I will have I hope this is gonna be like this, WebRTC. Okay, how is that written there? Just a sec, give me a moment. Normal server process and WebRTC process. So let's go ahead with this. I'm gonna be following the same structure. So WebRTC server process is gonna be equals to let's keep it equals to that WebRTC, right? Let's simply add it to the workspace. So this is gonna be the WebRTC server process. This is gonna be equals to the same WebRTC server process. I hope that's the same way it's been written there. WebRTC server process, yeah. And another thing is that I will have normal server process. So this is the first one. Then there is something called normal. These are just the constants variables that I'm creating, so that I don't have to write them again and again. In this way I will not be making mistakes. So normal server process, let's simply paste it here, and let's simply do it like this. So okay, as we again, it's better to just simply close the another one. So what is this? This is the one, right? Let's simply close this. If we actually get stuck or we get confused, either we'll take the help of AI or we will go back to the previous projects to get some inspiration from there. Having said that, we will have two types of processes. Coming back to this particular section over here, not this section, close this. Coming back to this particular section over here. So what will I do? This is the main index.ts file. Apart from this particular file, I will have even more. And if I try to have everything just inside this, that's gonna be the worst thing ever. So what will I do? I will, first of all, let's create a source folder, bro. Keeping everything here doesn't really make any sense. So what will I do? Inside here only, I will create source. Inside source, I will keep the types, I will keep the constants, I will keep the index.ts. This is how I will have to change many things. But inside source, I have the types. Inside types, I got my this. Let me keep it outside. So constants, and I have constants.ts. I have normal index.ts, that is the main file. And just inside source, what should I do? Helper functions or services? They are gonna be kind of helper functions I'm gonna be creating. So inside source, I will have helpers, and inside helpers, I will be just writing the extra code that I have. So they are gonna be just simply helping to just simply manage the things. Okay, so this is how it's gonna be going ahead. Hopefully, this is all that I need. Apart from this particular thing, I need to go to the this package.json. Now run. What will it be running? It will be running source in the current directory / index.ts. Hopefully it's gonna be able to run that. As for the name module, I think it should be the same, src / index.ts, and overall things are done. Okay, let's see. First of all, let me run it one more time. Hopefully it will be able to run that. So is the WebSocket server running? Yeah, WebSocket server is listening on this particular code. That simply means it is running. Okay, that's great. As the WebSocket server is running, it is simply saying that this particular script ran when you just simply run the command. Okay, so this particular thing is done. And what will I do here? Instead of writing this much, I'll say labels gonna be imported from here. Labels dot normal server process. If pass dot label is gonna be this equals to this, then do this. If pass that data label equals to labels dot WebRTC server process, then do this, otherwise invalid. Okay, if this is equals to this, what will I do? Then I'll say one thing. I will have a function over here, and that's gonna be handle normal server process, just like this. And in this particular case, I will have a function called handle WebRTC server process. And here what will I send? Here I will send the data dot what? Data contains what? Data contains what is the type of the data here? There is no type of data, but of course I can have the type of this here, but never mind. Data contains the data, sorry, pass data I'm mainly talking about. Pass data dot, do I get the types? Nope. So pass data dot label, I have pass data dot data I will have here. So this is how it's gonna be going on, and I can even have the message here. So whatever message we are getting, let's even keep it like this. So I got the message, so this is the message. So I stringified the message, I passed the message, so I got the pass data. Once I got the pass data, so pass data dot data or pass message will contain the data. So pass the message, it is actually gonna be containing the label as well. So it will contain the label, it will contain the data. So this is how it's gonna be going ahead. Similarly, this passed message will contain the data as well. So we are just simply sending the data. Now we have to create this of course helper functions. So handle WebRTC server process. So let's go to the helper and server processes. Let's simply create this. So server what server process dot ts. I think this is it. Again, the name can be made better anytime. That's not really big problem. Even when I'm working on any production level project, it's better to ask for the name from the AI. Okay, for now let's simply go ahead. Server process dot ts export const handle export function handle normal server process. It will be just handling that, and export function handle WebRTC server process. It will be handling the WebRTC server process. Having said that, it's gonna be getting the data, so it will have the data here. And what is gonna be the type of this data? So the type of this data is gonna be of course I will have to define the type over here, and when it comes to the type, I have to define it on the client side and here as well. That means at two places. So it's better to keep the types here inside packages. Oh, I think I need to do it because for the types I actually need to export them, and because type is gonna be needed for the web browser as well. I mean web app, and for the WebSocket as well. In that case, because I'm using turbo repo, so it's better to just simply create a package here. And again, right now I don't want to take the help of AI. No doubt I can do far better if I do that, but it's better to just simply create the things on your own. So I'm gonna be creating something called types, and this particular folder will be responsible for exporting the types. So if there are some global level types that are actually going to be used across the applications, more than one, then I'm gonna be keeping them here. So okay, what do I need to do for that? First of all, as for this data, I'm gonna be defining the types over here. Let's simply stop everything here. ls cd, 2 steps back, ls cd packages types, and I'm gonna be initializing bun over here. So bun init and that is it, that should be it. So bun init blank project, and it's going to be initialized over there. So right now I have this, and what will I do from here? First of all, I have to get some of the configuration done, otherwise I'll keep getting the error. So let's go to the ts config. First of all, I will say that I'm gonna be using DOM here as well. So this is the first thing, ultimately DOM related stuff like console and all, and then I will be the types is gonna be array, or it will contain the bun. Again, how do I know this? If you just hover over the errors, you will know that. So earlier we were getting some errors, so if I just simply comment this over here, so what will happen? You will get the error over here. Of course you are not getting, but if you use bun directly here, then you will get the error. Then if you hover over this particular error, then you are simply saying that first of all install the types, after that add bun to the types field in your ts config. That's what I'm doing here. So if you are getting any error, you will get the solution for that too. So okay, this particular thing is done. Coming back to this, we have initialized this, and after that we have to define the types over here. When it comes to the type, so the first type is gonna be the data type. I think that's the only type that's gonna be used across the applications, if I'm not wrong. Probably data type, even data is gonna be changing. It's not like data will contain the same kind of data all the time. That is right. So what should I do? For now, I'm gonna be sending different kinds of data, like sometimes I will be sending some other things and sometimes some other things. In that case, what should I do? In that case, I will have to create different types over and over. So let it be here. Later, if the types are actually getting repeated, I will come and keep it here and export from here. For now, I have this type folder. Again, it's gonna be for future, because I need to have a look at all the types that I'm using. Then only I can decide whether I have to keep it here or not. Having said that, as for this data, let's create the type here separately. So inside helpers, let me create a folder. I think, yeah, that's gonna be a better types. They are gonna be mainly for the helpers and server process.type.ts. No, this is gonna be not good actually, because the data is gonna be used actually everywhere. So instead of doing this, inside helpers, helper.helpers.type.ts, let's simply create it here. As for the data, export interface. Again, it depends. As you keep working on, you will automatically know whether this is the right place to keep this particular type or not. First of all, this is going to be the type of data. And when it comes to this, it will have the type. Type is going to be, again, this is a good place to just simply get the types here. When it comes to this, so type can be of many type, and let's simply have the type here as well. And especially when it comes to all of this, this is the global type, right? WS type. Okay, and helper type, I'm gonna be having the type over here, and the type itself can be of many type. So in that case, first of all, the type is actually gonna be asked to connect, because I'm gonna be asking to connect it to the meeting, and then later it will have many more types. So in that case, there are gonna be many things. That's right. So it's better to just simply type export interface types, or type can be of multiple type. So just like this. By the way, let's keep it a type here. So type, and the type is gonna be what? Type can be actually asked to connect or something else. For now, this is gonna be asked to connect, and once the type is actually asked to connect, in that case, what will I do? In that case, I can actually have the type here. So this is how it's gonna be going on. So the data will have the type. Apart from this particular thing, data will have some data itself. Again, this is the data or the message interface. This is the data type. So how about making it payload? That would be a better option. So payload. So if I actually check it inside this, so I'm gonna be getting the data. This is gonna be the data type. The data type will have the type and the payload. And inside the payload, what all will I have? That's actually unpredictable for now. So I'm gonna be keeping any for here. I mean, for right now. Later we'll see what happens. Coming back to this particular section, data will be imported from helpers.type over here. Again, whether this is the best place to keep this type over here or not, we will automatically figure it out when we just keep working on this. So this is something that will make sense slowly. So let's keep working on it. Wherever we find that okay, this may not be the best place, some other place is the best place to keep the type, we will just keep it there. So this much we've done. And when it comes to handle normal process, let's keep the WebRTC process aside, because we are going to be working with the normal process. And for this particular thing, we will have some functions and all. So server process, and then we will have some helpers. So what are those helpers gonna be? Normal process helpers, normal server helpers, WebRTC server helpers. So ultimately, two types of helpers are gonna be here. By the way, once I got the data, I will have to use a switch statement again over here. Last time I used what? I used this. Let me import it here. I actually went with the if else condition. I can even go with the switch statement over here. That simply means I can simply say switch statement. Let's simply get it here. The key is actually gonna be parse the message dot label, and if that's equals to labels dot normal server process, do this, copy it, paste it here. If that's equals to WebRTC server process, do this, and that's it. So instead of writing the things this way, I'm gonna be writing the things this way. And over here, handle normal server process, I'm gonna be handling that. I have to pass data from here. Again, this data itself is gonna be kind of payload, right? So because I have named that differently, so message will have the payload. Are you sure? Labels, no, it will actually have the data. In that data we'll have the type and the payload. This is how it's gonna be going on. So label, data, and then something else. Similarly over here, handle WebRTC process, pass the message dot data. So this is how we are gonna be going ahead. And as for the default CLG, I will just simply say invalid process label, just something like this. So this much we've done. Even I will be just getting the label here as well. So pass the message dot label, whatever the label I have, I'm gonna be logging it here so that I can know what kind of label I got and that was invalid. So this much is done. Coming back to this normal server process, I'm gonna be back here. The type of data is something like this. So data will have a payload, and on the basis of the type I have to just play with the payload. That's great. So what is the next thing that I can do? Again, I'm working with the WebSocket server side, working on that, and in that case I'm gonna be using another switch statement over here, and that's gonna be just like this. So data dot type, it will definitely have the type. On the basis of that thing, I'm gonna be checking the types. So again, it's time to get the types. How will I get it? I need to go to the WS types. This is the global label type for WebSocket. Okay, this can be used anywhere, and this is the helper label type. So let's simply go here. So I have my WebSocket over here, I have my connections here. These are the things that I have. Similarly, I think I have constants, and I'm exporting these constants from here, right? So inside these constants, what I'll say, and especially if that is a global label type, so let's simply keep the types directly over here, and let's simply remove this particular type. So it will make more sense. ws.types.ts, that this is the global label type, and I can have all the global label types here. Coming back to this particular constants, first type is actually gonna be ask to connect. I think this is how it's gonna be going ahead. You will be asking to connect, right? Okay, when you are actually asking to connect, this is actually gonna be the type. And what I'll say here, even there is another thing, that okay, you are defining these types here, you will be getting it from there, and on the basis of these events, will you be able to do it? I think it will be fine. On the basis of these events, I'm gonna be okay. So ask to connect, and what will I say? This is the event, and this will be how should I make it? On the basis of the types, I have to create constants of all the types so that it's I don't get stuck writing them wrong, right? So how about this? Ask to connect, but in that case, the type that I define on the server side, I will have to make it like this: ask to connect. It's normal server process, so I will have to give them these types anyhow. So process are okay, they are gonna be like this, but when it comes to the type, they should not be like this. But even if okay, this is fine too. I mean, this is not the worst thing ever. Ask to connect is actually gonna be equals to ask to connect. Let's see how it's gonna be going on. So this is the type that I have. Coming back to this particular point, that simply means on the front end side, I will have to give it this particular type here. Ask to connect. What is this? This is a type. So the data that I'm actually getting, that can have type of this type. Okay, and I have some constants here as well. They are referring to this. So data dot type that I'm actually getting, I have to check what kind of type this is, so by default this is of this type, ask to connect, and this is how it should be. So what else can I do? So coming back to helper functions, where is that helper dot type? So this is fine. I can go to the constant section, and let me make it like this. Ask to connect is gonna be equals to ask to connect. In this particular case, I will take the help of AI and make it better, but for now this makes more sense to me. I mean, I can just simply say type slash ask to connect, just like this, and then clg asking to connect. So this is as for this particular type. Of course I need to import this, so let's simply import it. And as for this particular thing, now what should it be? If I'm say keeping it like ask to connect like this, we can keep it like this as well, types dot ask to connect to. And the second thing can be, it can be in the smaller section. Let me take the help of AI here. Which one is better? Control C, because it's better to go with the better one. So it's gonna be pretty naming related question. Versus types dot ask to connect. The better convention is amazing job. Everything in the capital letter, we have to go with that. So okay, let's go with this. Not really big problem, as we've been suggested this. So I'm gonna be going with this. Ask to connect. That simply means from the front end side we'll have to send the same thing. Ask to connect. We will have these types on the front end side as well. We will have the same types on the back end side as well, like WebSocket server. That simply means we will have to keep the types somewhere here globally, so that we can use them anytime. Again, that's gonna be done. So we have this ask to connect. What will happen when it comes to this particular ask to connect? So let's simply close everything first of all, getting confusing. Can't I do it today? Okay, done. So gonna be going to this index.ts file over here. This is the main index.ts file, and inside this one I have these two processes. Inside this I'm just simply checking whether the type is actually asked to connect or not, and if I have this asked to connect type, then what will I be doing? Now I can create some other helpers, and that's gonna be maybe what normal server helper, normal server dot webartc server, normal server. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. So inside helpers, normal server dot helper dot ts. This is how I'm gonna be going ahead. Similarly, server process dot helper dot ts. Let me name it like that, helper dot ts. So this is how it's gonna be going ahead. So this normal server dot helper dot ts will contain everything for the normal server, and similarly I can create one more, and that's gonna be webartc server dot helper dot ts. So this is how it's gonna be going ahead. So ultimately I have everything configured. What will I do here? So in this particular section, I can just simply go to this normal server process, and I'll just simply say handle ask to connect, right? So inside this particular section, handle ask to connect, and it will be handling ask to connect. When it comes to handling this particular section, so what will I do? When it comes to handling this, so I will just simply send the data dot payload here. So this payload is gonna be sent here, and inside this particular section I can get the stuff done. So export const or export function handle ask to connect. It will be getting the payload. Again, payload can have any type, so for now let's simply go ahead, and I will be doing this stuff here. Doing this stuff means what? Doing this stuff means actually connecting the user, or just writing the business logic and getting the stuff done. But when it comes to getting the business logic, that simply means I have to pass the WebSocket connection as well, and that is obvious. And am I doing that? No, I'm just simply passing the data here, not passing WebSocket anywhere, and that's gonna be problematic. So what else can be done here? That else thing can be that you are actually exporting the connections from here? I mean, will that be a better way, or you are passing it from here? So I have helpers over here, and apart from these helpers I have these constants index.ts and all, and the connection that I actually get over here. So ultimately these things, it's not the best place to keep them here, so it's better to keep them somewhere else. So what is the best place to keep connections in meetings? I think what is the best place to keep the connections and meetings in WS server? Let's go ahead. At least I can know about this. So WebSocket server source, so server.ts connections. So I will have connection manager, meetings, meeting manager. So it should be inside WebSocket server. So this is how it should be going on, right? Oh, it's actually a better way to just simply handle things. So we will have some utilities. They're gonna be used for sending. Then we will have the types. They are gonna be for handling the types, event types. Then we can have some handlers: join meeting, leave meeting, send a message, ask to connect. How about just simply following this schema? Meetings, meeting manager.ts, meeting.ts, and then connections, connection manager. Then I have server.ts, and then I have source. And source will contain main index.ts file. So right now the way I'm actually managing the things, everything's messy. Messy in the sense, I have this normal index.ts file over here, and ultimately it gets the connection ready. But what should I be doing rather? I can create a server.ts, and that particular file will be responsible for creating it, and that will be saving it somewhere else. And this way I can go ahead with this. And then once I have the server.ts, it will be just simply saving the connection here. Once the connection is saved, then inside the connections I'm gonna be saving the connection. Inside the meetings I'm gonna be saving the meetings and all, and these are gonna be the handlers. So yeah, we can go ahead like this as well. So we already have the helpers, and inside helpers we are doing like this. So let me do it. The folder structure I can actually follow. So first of all, there's gonna be a file called server.ts and source. So source will contain that. So ultimately I need to have connections folder. Connections folder. I mean, this is not even that much important though. So coming back to this particular section, handle to connect. First of all, let me import this, and I have this index.ts, and apart from this particular index.ts, I need to save it somewhere from where it's actually accessible directly, right? So let me do one thing, create another file called server.ts. Let's do as much as compulsory and needed and nothing else. So over here I'm gonna be just simply having all of this, and inside this particular server.ts, and what will I do? It's pretty simple. That's gonna be export const get set web WebSocket connection. I'm gonna be just simply setting this, and when it comes to setting this, it's gonna be pretty straightforward. This is how it's gonna be going on, and but I need to have the connections of the users. So coming back to this particular section, I had it like this. It got connected. These meetings and connections, if I have them somewhere else, ultimately save. That simply means I can use this. Yeah, I can. But apart from this particular thing, I still need to just export this WebSocket, right? So I need to send this WebSocket here anyhow, whether I'm doing that or not. And as for these connections and all, I need to save them somewhere else. So that's okay. So when it comes to connections, when it comes to meetings, so let me do one thing, cut them from here. I have server.ts, so let me paste them here. Export, let me give it directly to this what is the best place to keep both. Let's figure out the right place. The best practice to keep the shared in memory. So ultimately, where should I have store.state.ts? So ultimately I have to create a store, and where over there I can just simply keep both of them. Just this is the thing that I want. So ultimately inside source I'm gonna be creating a store, and inside store these are gonna be state.ts related stuff. So let's simply do it. And now this server related stuff is actually gonna be there, so they are gonna be inside a store, and this makes more sense. Simply import it from wherever it is. And as for the type, I'm gonna be just simply having the types in a better way. As for this server, not quite needed right now. I already have my index.ts. I can even call it server.ts. That's another case. So server.ts or index.ts, let's make it like this. Doesn't really matter. And when it comes to this server.ts, so that simply means I need to go to the package.json. Here I need to make it server.ts. This thing needs to be server.ts as well. Get rid of this, come back to this particular section. I need to import it here. So once it is imported, no need to worry about anything. So what we are doing, the main file is the server.ts. We even have the global label types, we have the global label constants, and we have some of the helper functions. Again, there can be a number of ways to write the same thing, so it's better to stick with some. Let's simply go ahead with the things. So I have this server.ts, and once we have this, we are getting the connection ready. Then we are listening for that. After that, once the connection is ready, we are generating the connection ID. We are checking whether the particular connection already exists or not. So this is also one of the things. And after that, we are back here. And if once I got a message, so what am I doing? I'm checking whether what kind of label that message has, whether that is the normal server process or that is the WebRTC server process. And on the basis of that thing, I'm just simply getting the things done. And that's it. Only this much I will do in this particular file. Once this much is done, then I have to go to the helper function. Inside helper function that is related to the server process. Again, it can be even better. You can create many folders and all, but okay, never mind. For now, it's fine. Once I get the data over here, so data.type, if that's equals to ask to connect, so handle ask to connect, and when handling ask to connect, I'm gonna be getting this thing done over here. But when I'm actually going to handle ask to connect, at that time, what do I need to do? So whenever I'm asking to connect, that simply means I'm asking to join the meeting. Okay, when I'm actually asking to join the meeting, at that time my ID is going to be generated, that is for sure, and meeting ID I will be getting, that is for sure. So ultimately the data will have what? When I'm actually trying to join the meeting over here, so const, when it comes to this data, so it will have the meeting ID, it will have, let me keep an array here, so it will have again, this is just for the, getting the ID of what kind of data it contains. That's it. This array will not play any role. So it will have the meeting ID, it will have the what all it needs to send from the front end side. It doesn't need to have the connection ID, it needs to have the name, because he's trying to join the meeting. Overall these two things it needs to have. So on the basis of that thing, we will be just simply adding this. Okay, so handle to connect, whenever we are handling to connect, that simply means if I just hover over this, so this is the function that I have. I get my payload over here, and hopefully this payload contains meeting ID, this contains the username. And now what is my job? My job is to just simply save it in meetings. So this is how I'm gonna be going ahead. Okay, I already have this meeting ID, so what will I do? But even before that, if I go to server.ts over here, as soon as I got this particular user and the label, and I'm handling the processes and all, okay, even before that, when the connection gets established, what am I checking over here? Connections, connection ID, and something like this. I'm just simply adding it there. If that already exists, then that's okay. I already have it, so I don't really need to worry about it. That simply means connections has this particular connection ID. Yeah, of course it does. So I can come back here, and what I have to do, first of all, inside meeting I have to save it. So the simple way can be that you are gonna be checking if meetings, again I will be getting it from the store. So meetings, I'm getting the meeting ID over here. So meeting ID, So again, this meeting ID comes from where? So payload dot meeting ID. So I'm getting this meeting ID over here. Once I'm getting this particular meeting ID, so what I'll say that okay, if the meeting does not exist, in that case I'm gonna be creating a new meeting, right? So meetings dot meeting payload dot meeting ID, and so if the meeting does not exist, so in that case that simply means I have to create a new meeting. And what will that meeting be all about? Okay, once it comes to creating a new meeting, in that case I'll say okay, let's do one thing. The host is gonna be null for now, and the participants is gonna be an empty array. I mean, this is how I'm gonna be going ahead. What is the problem? Null is not assignable to the participant. Okay, fine, so I'm gonna be keeping the participant null. So I have to go to the types this time. And where am I creating the types? That is gonna be the global level type over here, and this participant is the problem here. Let's keep it null. You can be null, bro. So done, close this. So this is how I'm gonna be going ahead. So what I'm doing, actually nothing, checking whether the meeting exists, creating even an empty meeting. There is nobody in the meeting right now. Okay, this particular thing is done. After this, I'm sure that I have the meeting, then I am going to get the participant information, right? So payload will have the meeting ID, payload itself will have the name. So now const new participant. Okay, just like this I will get the new participant. New participant will have some info here. So first of all, it will have the username. Username is gonna be equals to payload dot username, and it will have the meeting ID. So meeting a new participant meeting ID, yeah, it should have that meeting ID. The participant will have its own meeting ID. Yeah, that's okay, I can just simply send the meeting ID back there. So it will have the meeting ID, so that's okay. It will have the meeting ID. That simply means payload dot meeting ID, so it will have the meeting ID as well. What is the next thing? The next thing is that it would be better if it has the connection ID. The question is that how will you get the connection ID of this particular user? Interesting. So again, this much you are having to do when you are using pure WebSocket. In socket.io, things go really straightforward manner. You don't have to go with this much configuration. I mean, you directly get the connection ID, you directly get the socket, you just directly get the events, you just directly emit the events. So it handles so many things. But okay, here we are handling everything manually. So question is, how will I get the connection ID? Connection ID of this particular new participant. So I don't have any other way except just simply sending it from here. So this is the normal server.ts. I have the WebSocket over here, this WebSocket, and whenever I'm handling it, so let me send it here. So WebSocket and WebSocket, hopefully this is gonna be the one. And when I'm actually sending it, coming back to this, I will be getting WebSocket as well. So WebSocket, the type is actually gonna be WebSocket from this. Similarly over here as well, that I will be getting this WebSocket, and the WebSocket is gonna be from this. So overall things are done, but at the end of the day I need to have it here as well. So WebSocket. Oi, hello, wait. What is the problem? The problem is that I'm sending WebSocket. I need to have the connection ID. What will I do having the WebSocket over here? Okay, sorry. Come back to this particular section. I don't care about the WebSocket because I'm already saving it here. Okay, so if I have the connection ID, I will be able to find that, and that is the same connection ID that I used over here. So I'm just simply gonna be sending the connection ID. Connection ID is gonna be type of string. Connection ID is gonna be type of, oh sorry, the type even doesn't need to be specified here. Coming back to this particular point, and over here what can I do? Bro, first of all, just write connection ID over here. No need to be fancy because that's bad, actually that's wrong. Not even bad. Connection ID over here, you can specify the type, and that would be fine. Same thing you can do over here in order to get rid of the error. So connection ID will be type of string over here. So this thing is also done. And as for this particular thing, I'm just passing the connection ID to here, and then connection ID is being passed here. So connection ID, and again I can specify the type over here, that's gonna be string. Once I have the connection ID, then connection ID is actually gonna be equals to the connection ID. What else is host? By default I'm gonna be keeping it false, bro. Okay, so this particular thing is done. What is the next thing? I got the new participant, I got the meeting created. This participant is not the participant of the meeting, so what will I do? First of all I have to check if that is a host or not. So if meetings that I have and meeting ID, meeting, and how am I gonna be getting this meeting ID? This meeting ID comes from this payload, so let's do one thing. Const, I'm gonna be getting two things from here, right? The meeting ID, the username. These are the two things that I will definitely be getting here, especially when I'm trying to connect. So when I'm trying to connect, so when it comes to this particular payload, let's simply keep it here. I can keep it at a better place, that is for sure. So when it comes to interface payload, and there's definitely gonna be bro meeting ID, that's gonna be string, and there's definitely gonna be the username, that's gonna be a string. And not only that, when it comes to sending, so I will be sending this much. I'm gonna be sending profile as well. Why I want a profile picture, that's also gonna be string. Why do I want to send? So that I can show the profile of the user. So I just want to keep it so that in future this is gonna be necessary. So let's see how it's gonna be going on. As for this payload, control C, instead of keeping this any here, I can just simply keep payload, so it has a proper type. Now meeting ID, I'm gonna be getting all these things. Meeting ID, let me do one thing. They are actually gonna be coming from this payload. I'm destructuring everything, and it will have the meeting ID, username, and profile. Do I need to have the profile here? Doesn't really make any sense to have the profile, but I did the same thing. Username payload dot username, meeting payload dot this. So instead of doing this much, let's simply have the username here. So username is gonna be equals to username, meeting ID is gonna be equals to the meeting ID, connection ID is gonna be equals to the connection ID, is host is gonna be the false, and profile is gonna be equals to profile. As simple as that. So these things are pretty much common. So instead of even having this much, I'm gonna be destructuring the payload. So payload is gonna be destructured over here, and this is how it's gonna be going ahead. Are you sure? Yeah, hopefully. Apart from this particular thing, let's simply remove this particular part. So I will directly be using meeting ID, just trying to make it a bit better. So yeah, if meeting ID that exists in that does not exist, create a new one. And apart from this particular thing, bro, how to format this here? Now this is fine. Is there any error? Yeah, there are errors, and that is why I'm facing this issue. What is this error? The error is this. So let's simply pull it. Okay, so right now it is fine. So ultimately, first of all, what am I doing? I'm just simply getting all the things from here, and once I got them, I don't even need to have this username and profile, so that's fine. Then I'm creating I created a meeting. After that, I created new participant. I destructured the previous values and added the new ones. Connection ID is host false, and then I'm gonna be checking that now. I need to have the meeting. I got the participant. That's amazing. I also need to have the meeting, and that's gonna be meetings, because right now that will definitely exist. So right now I have the meeting as well. I have the participant as well. What will I do now? I will check whether there is a host inside the meeting or not. So if meeting that I have dot is has host, that is it, I think so. If meeting does not have the host, okay, then I will be doing something. What will I do? If meeting does not have the host, in that case, what? In that case, meeting that I have dot host is actually gonna be equals to the new participant. Fine. And the new participant, before even that, let me change the value. So new participant dot is host is actually gonna be true. So the new participant is going to be the host. Meeting host new participant, I'm gonna be assigning the value over here. Not only that, I'm gonna be making the new participant part of the participants as well. So this new participant should be the part of participants. So meeting dot participants dot push. Inside that, what will I be pushing? I will be pushing new participant. Done. And of course you have to return from here because you are the host. So this is the what you have to do. And over here, what you should be doing, from here there's gonna be one to do here. Inform the host about himself or itself. So host should be himself. So we have to let the host know that okay, you are the host, you have joined, and host will be informing its own information there. Okay, so this will be done later. We will have to create other things. Okay, this thing is done. What is the next thing? Okay, this will happen when you are a host. Okay, on the other side, if you are not the host, then what will happen? If you are a normal participant, in that case you should just become the part of participant. So anyway, if you are a normal participant, so instead of keeping this thing here, how about keeping it here? Because at the end of the day, doesn't matter you are a host or not, you will be the part of the participants here anyhow. And when you are the part of participants over here, the next question is, next what do I have to do? No, that will become problematic, because if I return from here and that is the host, then I will never ever save it here. So I will have to repeat it now twice. This is mainly for the host and this is for the other users. Okay, when this is for the other users, so they've become the part of this participant section right now. So is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Can the user directly join the room? No, I have to notify the host that somebody is trying to join the meeting. Do you want to allow that person or not? Okay, so what is the next thing? The host joined the meeting, other person tried to join the meeting, but that's gonna be a problem. And the problem is that now notify the host about the joining of the new user. So this is what we have to do. Again, when it comes to doing this, we need to WebSocket connection. So we will say something like ws dot send, and we have to send some kind of message from here. Again, that message needs to be stringified. So this is what we have to do. So the first thing is that if I want to get WebSocket connection, I need to have the connection ID. Do I have the connection ID? Turns out yes, I did send it. So as I have the connection ID, so I can, from the connections, I can easily find WebSocket. So let's simply do that. So what will I be doing? Just here, const ws is gonna be equals to what? Ws is gonna be coming from connections. So I have these connections. No, re baba. Connections will be coming from here, store, and using the connection ID, I found the WebSocket connection. Whose WebSocket connection is this? First of all, whose connection ID is this? This is the connection ID of the host. Probably. But if that is a host, then I will inform the host from itself. So ultimately, let me do one thing, and let me paste this connection ID here itself, so that can be the connection ID of any user. So that can be either the host or anything. If that is the host, then I will be informing from here. If that is not the host, then I will be informing from here. So what do I have to do? If that is the host, then ws.send ws.send, that's good, and I have to send the message from here. Great job, you have to send the message from here. What should be the message? So const message it will contain two things. First of all, label. What is gonna be the label? Great job. Label is gonna be labels dot normal server process. First of all, this thing. Then below that it will contain the data. Okay, what is going to be the data? Data will contain the type. What is gonna be the type? Types dot, it is asked to connect. Is this gonna be asked to connect? No, it's gonna be request to join meeting, just like this. This is gonna be the type. Have I defined this? Not really. So what will I have to do? I'll have to do this thing as well. So request to join meeting, and what will I do? I'll simply copy and paste the stuff. Ultimately, I'm requesting the user, like host. so the event needs to be sent there. So okay, I'm requesting. What is the next thing? I need to send the payload. Great job. What is gonna be the payload? When I'm actually informing the host about the new user who is trying to join, so ultimately I should be sending it all like okay, the username, connection ID is host, false and all. Ultimately I have to send it all. So payload is actually gonna be equals to what? New participant. That's great. We have our message. Now it's time to send the message, but we can't really send the message that like this. So json.stringify and message. So this is how we can send the message. The job is done. Notify the host. That is it. And then notify the host about the joining of the notify the host about itself or himself. What will it do once host gets notified about himself? By the way, sorry, it's bad. Request to, this is not request to join meeting, this is connect host. Host is getting connected, right? So connect host. Again, this may not be the best name ever, but as the host is getting connected, I'm gonna be emitting an event from here, and this event will be triggered on the host side. The host will know about himself, and host will be able to save this information on the client side. Coming back to this one, connect host. So yeah, this thing is done. Connect host. What is the next thing? Come back to this particular thing. Connect host. I sent this message to the host. Host will get this message. Host will be able to check the type. On the basis of the type, it will be doing the job. Done. Oh, most probably. Okay, now notify the host about the joining of the new user. This is gonna be the thing. So again, I need to have a message here. Crazy stuff, but yeah, this is the thing. That is why, if you are working on any production ready application, go with Socket.io. If you try to use pure WebSocket, you will have to write so much code for those just simple functionality that at the end of the day you will say, oh my god, how much will I have to go with write the code. So in Socket.io, it's so simple. I built the previous video calling app. Things were so straightforward. Here I am having to write so much, but never mind. Let's go ahead. So notify the host about the joining of the new user. Of course, I need to have the message. So message will contain what? Message will contain the label. What will that label be? So labels dot normal server process, and apart from this particular thing, it will contain the data. What will be the type of the data? The type of the data will be types dot request to join meeting, and then it will have payload. What will this payload contain? New user, new participant. So this is how it's gonna be going ahead. Any problem? No problem as such. What is the next thing? I already have my WebSocket connection. Host needs to be informed. Is that so? Ab ruk jao bhai. So here I have to notify the host. How will I check that this WebSocket connection that I have, this is actually the WebSocket connection of the host? Because what am I doing? This WebSocket connection that I'm actually getting, I'm getting using the connection ID, and this connection ID is the user who is trying to join the meeting. So if host is trying to join the meeting, that is fine. But if the another user is trying to join the meeting, this is the WebSocket of that particular user. That means where is host WebSocket? That is not here. That means logic is wrong here. So what do I have to do? Connection ID is okay, but this is the connection ID of the user who is trying to join the meeting. Okay, so if that is actually the host, cut it from here now. If that is actually the host over here, then that's fine. I can just have it here. So if there is no host, in that case that particular participant is actually becoming the host, then okay, the WebSocket is gonna belong to the host only, and that is gonna be fine. But on the other side, if the host already exists, host is already there, that simply means host has its own connection ID as well. Obviously, that simply means I can get the connection ID here. Obviously, and once I get the connection ID, const WebSocket. WebSocket is I need to have the host WebSocket, right? So notify the host. So WebSocket is gonna be equals to what? WebSocket is gonna be equals to connections Now I need the connection ID, but whose connection ID? Host's connection ID. So what? Tab. I have my meeting. Don't I have that? Yeah, I have that. Can I check meeting? Can I get the host dot connection ID? Yeah. So I already have the meeting. Okay, that meeting contains the host. That host contains the connection ID. I got the connection ID of the host. Once I got the connection ID of the host, I got the connections. From the connections, I got the WebSocket connection. Once I got the WebSocket connection, the same connection I will be using over here, and this is how it's gonna be going on. So coming back to this particular section, I can just simply say WebSocket.send. What do I want to send? I want to send some message, but before that I will have to stringify it. Again, in socket.io you don't need to stringify. Here in WebSocket we do need to stringify, otherwise we'll get the error. So let's simply go ahead like this. So we are notifying the other user ultimately, whom we are notifying the host about the joining of the new user. Okay, this is done as well. Then what can happen? Host will do the job on the front end side. Again, let's not write the code of the front end side. Let's stick with this only. Okay, handle ask to connect. So this particular thing is done. Then what will happen? Host will actually be notified. Should we do it right now? This is the interface that I have. I will be keeping it at the right place very soon. So this is the first thing. Then what will happen? Host will allow or deny, and then host will send the data back. This is the only thing that the host is gonna do. And if the host allows, that particular user is going to be the part of the participants, and if host denies, then I have to send a message to the user, and that would be like you have been denied and all. This is how it's gonna be going on. Okay, so the case types dot time to create a new type. Come back to this particular section. Ask to connect, done. Connect host, done. Request join meeting, done. And what will happen after request to join meeting? This will go to the front end, then host will send another event or message back to this. And what is gonna be the type of this? Grant join meeting. This is how it's gonna be going ahead. And control C, paste it here. Grant join meeting. Now the host is sending this message back to the signaling server. Again, we will work on the okay, let's do one thing. Let's go to the front end side right now. I mean, I can get the things done directly here, but it may be hard to just get the idea exactly what is happening. So ultimately, let's work on the front end as well. From the backend side, I just simply sent this event. I sent two events. First of all, this particular message, normal server process, type is request to join, and the another is this particular, when it comes to the meeting host, connect host and normal server process. These are the two things are actually going to the what front end side. So of course I will have to listen for these events and all. How long has it been, by the way? 1 hour 27 minutes. That's it. Literally, you've got to be kidding me. That simply means I have to be here for, let it be for 30 minutes. 2 minutes or more remaining. After that I'm gonna be taking a break for 5 minutes, and then I'll be back, and just for 5 minutes, nothing else. Okay, by the way, coming back to this particular thing, let's simply close everything. Time to go to the WebSocket, I mean web app. Inside the web app, I have the store. So let's not worry about the store. Let's go to the lib, and inside lib I have this signaling server related stuff, and over here we'll get the message. The real work will start actually from here. So when it comes to the message, on message, we will get the data. Once we get the data, we have to parse that. So const parsed message is gonna be json.parse event.data. This is again, what will it say? It must be in the buffer format to stringify. I mean, I will be stringifying it. Once I got the message, now what will this message contain? I'm getting it on the front end side. So think of it like this, that it's gonna be the same the way we have done it on the backend side. When it comes to this parsed message, then this message will contain actually the label in the data, Then data itself will contain the type and payload. So this is how it's gonna be going ahead. That simply means on the basis of the label, ultimately I'm gonna be using switch statement over here the way I did it on the backend side. So it's gonna be switch statement parse the message dot label, so not just the label, and that's gonna be triple equals to normal server process. And now the question is, I'm using switch statement, sorry for that. I thought I was using this parse label, and it's gonna be somewhere here. And on the basis of this thing, I will be going ahead. Again, I'm having to write the same thing over here. The same thing I wrote on the backend side. So it's better to keep the type here now inside this type. So inside this types folder that I have created. So all the global label types that are going to be used on the backend side as well as on the front end side. So I'm gonna be keeping them here so that I can export from here, and then they can be used. Okay, so this is how it's gonna be going ahead. And for that thing, after 5 minutes, I'll be back, and then I continue from here. Again, I have to spend 5 hours working on this project, though. It will just keep going on and on. I'm gonna be catching up just after 5 minutes. Until then, take care and see you. Bye bye.